We obviously talk a lot about price here on the channel. That's what most people are concerned with. That's what kind of the big focus is as of late. But one of the biggest things that Cardano is trying to do is frankly change the world. We're going through this big evolution like we've been talking about. And I don't think people realize how big Cardano can in fact be. And this is some of the questions that I get pretty consistently on the channel. And I urge you guys to ask questions, have discussions. I love talking about these in videos. And what the Car Buying Center said, love the videos over the years. Could you do some videos on real world use cases? We all love to hear about price predictions, but how exactly will this change the world? We will be using stablecoins, or will we be using stablecoins created by companies to invest in them? How do we tie digital to the physical world? Longtime ADA holder, 4+ years, but want to see how this could be used for my company. And that's a great question, right? Obviously price is the biggest thing that matters to most people, but Cardano has a much bigger vision. And unlike what some people think, a lot of people think it's just humanitarian stuff, and that's not the case at all. We've talked about for a long time that Cardano is really focused on bringing all the world infrastructure together to be the chain that can do all the things. And just for a couple examples for people, I had to take some time to write this down. Employment databases, payment systems, data and supply chain management, payroll systems. We start talking about, government, for example, government spending, budgeting, voting, public finance, vehicle titles, house deeds. We talk about more privacy change driven things like would be potentially on midnight, social security, medical records, payroll. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that this can in fact be used that are currently being used for either private databases, currently aren't even on electronic records. I mean, there are so many different potential use cases. And guys, this is just scratching the surface because we're just still kind of in the early development of not the early development, the early information fact finding phase of blockchain adoption. And here's where Cardano is a little bit different than other chains in the space. First of all, most other chains in the space are not decentralized. They are very centralized. They can be shut off. You know which chains I'm talking about. They have security issues. They have a lot of problems, right? Downtime. I mean, the list goes on and on. And where Cardano has really differed itself from the pack is that it's very much been focused on scalability. It's been focused on having perfect security. It's been having itself be focused on being the chain that checks all the boxes. And, we've gone down the list before and we've in fact gone through each of these boxes and checked them off. And as of right now, it's the only chain that can do this stuff at scale. And maybe some people disagree with that. Maybe they say there's not enough, use on chain currently. And I think people are really sleeping on Hydra. They're really sleeping on partner chains. They're really sleeping on Cardano consensus. I mean, the big thing is that, again, many of these chains in the blockchain space, I think at some point will in fact be using some of the benefits that Cardano gives them. That's one of the beautiful things about partner chains. And we're going to witness a very big evolution over time. Again, right now, some of the just individual use cases that Cardano is being tested out in is identity systems. Obviously, they are used by Dubai Police Force for ballistics analytics. Is that what it is? Ballistics evidence. They're being used by NASA for supply chain management. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that it's currently being used for right now, but it's not really the big glamorous things. And that's why I'm kind of stuttering. It's like most people don't care about that stuff, but they don't realize how big that stuff is going to be down the line. If you have a multi-billion-dollar corporation that steps in and decides to use Cardano, I mean, you're talking about the potential huge use on chain for ADA, right? That's a pretty damn big deal. One thing I forgot to mention, I don't know if anybody remembers Vodafone for a reward system for their customers. I mean, there's a lot of ways that blockchains can be used that people aren't anticipating yet. And I've kind of gotten off track on this video, but the point I wanted to make is that when this demand does hit, and it's starting to hit already, you want to be prepared for this. And what I mean by that is you want to have the chain that has the tech, that has the uptime, that has the scalability, that has all these different things that Cardano has spent all these years boring people to death with already in place. So you're not trying to play catch up. And Cardano is ahead of the curve. They've been ahead of the pack. They've been ahead and have had the foresight to plan for all this stuff taking place. All right. Now, how it will pertain to your personal business, the car buying center, again, probably vehicle titles will be a big way. Payroll could be a very big thing there as well. Maybe storing sales licenses. I don't know. Right. It's an ever evolving space, and it's going to evolve even more over time. But that's where, again, I have a lot of excitement for what Cardano can do. And again, it may not be the most glamorous thing. It may not be the fun retail driven, billions of or millions of on-chain users playing with meme coins and stuff like that. But I'm okay with that, because we're eventually going to get to a point where this market shifts from speculation, and it shifts to utility. It shifts to tech. It shifts to, if you have the best products in the market, you're probably going to be one of the largest market caps in crypto. I would argue that right now, Cardano, from a technical standpoint, it's probably top 5 easily. And some people will say top 1, and you know what? It's probably up there. But I'm trying to be not biased in this video. What the point I'm trying to make is, people sleep on Cardano because it doesn't have these millions of transactions taking place per day like Solana, or the fees aren't as cheap as another chain, or it doesn't have this amount of users. But down the road, that crap's not going to matter, because that's retail. All right. The bigger use cases from crypto, the bigger use cases from blockchain are going to come from governments. They're going to come from enterprises. That's where the shift is going to happen. And that's why, again, I think Cardano has a real opportunity for world domination. It has a real opportunity to be the leading blockchain in the entire world. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you guys can speculate on what that might mean for price as time goes on. But have a great day. Show your love below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.